Hi, my name's Katie New. I'm one of the attorneys at the Liker Law Firm, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about bankruptcy exemptions. What an exemption is it's a certain amount in certain types of property that you're entitled to keep. We're always referring to the equity that you have in certain types of property. In Missouri, you do have to use the Missouri exemptions. The federal exemptions are not available to you. So I'm going to go through a list of the most commonly applicable exemptions. The homestead exemption. In the state of Missouri, you are entitled to keep up to $15,000 of equity in real property. This number is $5,000 for a mobile home. In some cases, you may want to talk about different types of debt and how this can affect this, but generally, you're entitled to keep $15,000. For motor vehicles, you're entitled to keep $3,000 in a vehicle. If you are filing with your spouse, you would be entitled to keep $6,000. However, if you have two vehicles, only $3,000 can be applied to each vehicle. So for example, if you had two vehicles, one is worth $4,000, one is worth $2,000, you would not be able to split it in that way. It's a maximum of $3,000 per vehicle. Unless you only own one vehicle for the two of you, then you could apply the entire $6,000 to one vehicle. Some other exemptions include the household good exemptions. You can exempt up to $3,000 or $6,000 for married filers. Household goods include clothing, appliances, furnishings, books, animals, and musical instruments. There are some exemptions even for jewelry. If you're filing for bankruptcy, you can exempt $1,500 or $3,000 for a married filer for your wedding rings. Again, you would each get the $1,500. Like the motor vehicles, the married couples can split the $3,000 exemption between two rings, but you cannot combine each of yours to exempt $3,000 in one ring. You can exempt any other type of jewelry that's not your wedding ring at an amount of $500 per individual filer or $1,000 for married couples. You can exempt out burial grounds up to $100 or 1 acre. Most importantly to some people are the retirement accounts. Individuals filing for bankruptcy can exempt certain types of tax-exempt qualified accounts. These include IRAs, 401ks, profit sharing, and some money purchase plans. It is important to note that certain life insurance policies and annuities might not be exempt if there is a current cash value. Some other exemptions are the tools of trade exemptions. If you are filing for bankruptcy, you're entitled to keep $3,000 or $6,000 for married filers for professional books or tools of trade. In some cases, a vehicle may count as a tool of trade. However, using a vehicle to commute to and from work does not make it a tool of trade. There is a head of household exemption, and you can apply that amount to any asset that you would like, to cash, to anything. That is $1,250 if a filer provides the majority of income for the household. If a filer does qualify for this head of household exemption, you can then exempt out $350 for each child under the age of 18 living in the household. Finally, there's a wild card exemption, and that's a $600 exemption for anything. You can use this to exempt part of a tax refund, part of an account, anything you'd like really, and this amount actually can be stacked on top of other exemptions to exempt out property. For example, if your car was worth $3,600, you're entitled to $3,000, and then you could exempt out $600 more for the wild card exemptions. So this is a list of the most commonly applied exemptions. There may be more that apply to your case, and that's something that you might want to speak with one of our attorneys about. Thank you for listening.